Previously on Live to Give, the Ramsey Rollercoaster. After Jana and Tony flipped at the merge on their original Renegade tribe and voted out Anna, they went back to camp to do damage control. At the Live to Give auction, the cast won various prizes such as food, charity money, a pool reward, a steal a vote that Tony won, and the coveted immunity. However, immunity came with a twist this round as a chain reaction of safety was passed down by Kevin, making all of original Red Excalibur safe, plus Jana. At the pool reward, Matt, Nicole, and Ryan strategized, while Nicole also forgave Ryan for gossiping about her in the beginning of the game. Back at camp, the duo of Matt and Lindsay along with Marty became Excalibur's targets. However, after discussing further, Excalibur didn't want to vote out another woman, so they agreed to split the votes on Marty and Matt going into Tribal Council. However, a live Tribal Council erupted after Tony announced he'd be using his seal a vote on Lindsay. After the scramble in voting, Lindsay shocked everyone when she played her hidden immunity idol, followed immediately by Tolu. With Lindsay successfully negating a majority of the votes, it left in a tie between Matt and Marty. However, Tolu's title was activated, which gave her the power to cast a sole vote of who to remove from the game. With that power, she voted Marty out of the game and he became the third member of the jury. 10 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
For the challenge, we split 10 people into 2 groups of 5, and so that means 2 immunity necklaces and really small tribal councils.
We get to the challenge field, and what do you know? There's a little swap. And so the final 10 draw rocks, and we have 2 tribes of 5. Mine is me, Ryan, Kevin, Tony, and Jana. Kind of crazy breakdown.
So we had a little challenge that was in several parts, and it was split into 2 groups. So there's 10 of us left, and they split us into 2 groups of 5 to do this, segmented challenge.
First we had to bounce a few balls on a platform, then we had to weigh exactly 8 pounds of sand, then we had a spatial awareness puzzle, and then finally we had the classic Survivor sort of Swiss cheese board challenge.
Basically, there were stages of these challenges, and me and Jana made it to the final stage. Somehow, I ended up pulling through, and I won. So it feels really good to have this. This is a pivotal part of the game. But yeah, so right now, I'm safe.
Challenge went amazing. I think I needed more on my resume, and I was able to pull out the win in the challenge. I need to start filling out my resume if I want a chance at this game, and just a lot of highs and lows in this game of Live to Give so far. A lot of lows at the beginning, but I'm starting to feel some of the higher moments, and that was fantastic. Winning that challenge, it felt like eating hummus on February 2nd.
Did you watch it? So, we did our best. What do you know? There's a little swap. And so the final 10 draw rocks, and we have 2 tribes of 5. Mine is me, Ryan, Kevin, Tony, and Jana.
Hi, Ryan. Can I talk to you?
I was feeling really down on myself. I'm like, I look so dumb right now. Like, how can I not figure this out? And then halfway through the challenge, I was like, don't count yourself out, you know, even though they gave us a lot of help. So it feels really good to have this. This is a pivotal part of the game.
So I still feel bad about leaving you out of the Anna vote, which I'm sure you feel that way too.
Yeah.
The reason was we didn't have enough time to know if you were aligned with her or not.
Right.
So
100%. And for me, like, honestly, like, I don't hold ill will with votes like that.
Nicole and Tony are the 2 people that I've been trying to build the most trust with in the game, because I just seem to like that Tony is a straight shooter when I have conversations with him. Nicole, I just get some great energy. So I was kind of excited that I had my 2 allies.
So, like, I want to work with you two. You two, I've been telling everyone, are like the ones I want to ride with. Kevin has approached me about doing like a 6.
He's approached me too.
Okay, and I put like the names.
I think he's approached a lot of people.
Okay, so maybe that's a reason to go Kevin then.
Yeah.
And stuff. I just like, I have to put my trust into all of you. I'm not gonna like throw your name out there, Tony.
I've had a good relationship with Nicole in the past. Jan and I have been really tight as well. Ideally, we all 3 can continue working together, Nicole included.
Yeah.
I'm okay going Kevin.
I think Kevin makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's gonna say he has an idol. He's gonna play Kevin. There's no way he does it that way.
Yeah.
That was just played.
And there's no way like you can split or do anything. And like if I go home with an idol play, like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm safe, and it's Jana, Tony, who were people I started working with in the beginning of the game. Tony was the first person I approached and said I felt really good about. Jana was also someone I said I felt good about. And we had kind of a 3 going on. Kevin, he is a challenge threat. He is integrated with the Red, and he's tried to make alliances with literally everyone under the sun.
No, I at this point I gave you my word. I'm gonna vote for you, and I'm a man of my word. I'm not gonna vote for you.
I'm not gonna vote.
I really want to move the vote on Jana, but if he won't vote Jana, the problem is if you and I both vote Jana.
Nicole's not gonna vote Jana, bro.
And Nicole, and then Nicole, then all those 3 vote for you, then you're cooked.
Obviously, Jana and Tony have been close the entire game. I know that Nicole and Ryan have been close and got closer on that reward they just went on, and Nicole straight up told me she's not voting Ryan, so that only left me or Tony, and the girls aren't going to vote each other.
At this point,
Nicole is a swing. They're going to vote for me.
So I am going to be honest with Tony and let him know I'm going to vote him out. Like, I'm going to put my vote there.
You want to tell that to Tony?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's an honest guy and that works better.
That's fair. That's fair.
We got back and immediately Kevin and I talked, and I told him straight up, I was like, Kevin, we worked together, and at times I thought about voting him out because I think he's a really good competitor, but I just said, I'm not going to vote you out. And he was like, whoa, really? And he was like, I won't vote you out. Now, is that real or not? I don't really know, but I truly like Kevin as a person. I truly like Kevin as a game player, and I've had his back literally throughout the whole game. And at times I feel like he's maybe wavered slightly, but he's always come back. And so I need to, as much as it is going to suck to have that conversation, I need to be honest with him. And and that's just where it's at, you know?
Okay.
So, and then we'll let Nicole make the decision. I'm not gonna vote Kevin because I gave him my word, and I've said too many lies in this game. I have to share my word, and so ultimately, I'm gonna vote Tony. I don't want to vote you out. Like, I don't want to put your name down.
Yeah.
And like,
See, and we weren't gonna put your name down.
No. So you guys both going Kevin?
Yeah.
Tony and I had a really great moment last night, and it's personal between the 2 of us, but we just had a really great talk. That was more than just the game, and he came up to me and he was like, hey, I'm not gonna vote you. Like, I really appreciate you. I want to be straight with you, man. Like, this is not my choice. I have to go where the numbers are.
Yeah.
And like, everything we talked about last night, that wasn't an act.
Right.
That was all like true. Like, even before you guys, and like, don't get me wrong, I know you and Jana saved our ass. Like, then fucking went haywire.
Yeah.
And like, I really appreciate the Jana, but my sole focus was like, okay, how do I get Tony with me near the end? But the problem is Nicole has a lot of the power.
Right.
I mean, Kevin and I could both vote for Jana, but if she votes for you, and then you guys both vote for
right.
him, then there's a tie.
Right. So you're saying there's no way you'd vote for Kevin?
Those two I thought I was working close with, and then they flipped and did
Oh, you know they
game.
flipped?
Yes, I know.
Oh, I didn't know you know that. I was about to tell you.
Oh, yes, because I called Jana out. I said, it's really interesting. The math isn't mathing. I don't understand. I don't think all red could have gone. She was like, yeah, I flipped. And I was like, did you do that intentionally? Or did you not have enough time to tell me? And she's like, I purposely didn't tell you. So you have Tony, who lied to me, and who has played this under the radar game. And he has a lot of connections. I do feel like him and Jana are really close with each other, and they would always choose each other over me. So
Where do you think you are if you keep them? Do you think you could ever be tighter to them than they are each other?
I mean, that's a good question.
I don't.
Probably not.
I mean, but I wasn't over there at first, but just seeing them, they're lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah.
So it seems like I should expect there to be 2 votes on me from Tony and Jana, and then 2 votes on Tony from myself and Ryan, which would leave Nicole perfectly in the middle to decide between myself and Tony. So we were talking about trying to get a group together earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about a 6 when it was 11, but we'll be what, 8
Maybe
after
8.
this? So we'd only need 5.
Yeah.
Me, you, Ryan. Who do you feel close with over there?
Literally no one. That's
Okay,
the
we
thing.
pull in Javier because no one over there is close to Javier.
Really?
So we're kind of like the island of misfits, where it's like, without.
Because the thing is, Matt and Lindsay like have each other's backs.
So that's the thing. So you got Matt and Lindsay, who's a duo. You got Jana and Tony, who's a duo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got 4 more. So if those duos get together, no matter what.
Yeah. Tony has been a good ally, but you can't be a good ally and keep your allies out of votes.
It has to be what you think is best.
Yeah,
for you
and
moving
I'm
forward.
undecided. So.
And I think whatever you do, it's a move. You get either out a challenge guy, or you get out maybe it's like something, and yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole was kind of frantic at the end. She was up front and told me it's 50-50, which kind of hurt, because moving forward, I'd like to work with both Tony and Nicole. So unfortunately, I think everything is in Nicole's hands on which way the vote is going. I think Kevin and Ryan are throwing their votes on Tony, and then myself and Tony are throwing votes on Kevin.
I guess, is there anything else that
Yeah, I'll let you
you
cook
need to
that.
hear? Anything you need to
No,
know?
I just told Jana and I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm genuinely between you and Kevin.
Yeah. I think it's gonna just kind of come down to what she decides. I think Kevin and Ryan are pretty tight together. Jan and I are pretty tight, so we're not gonna, make the other person vote for one of their close alliance members. So we're gonna put it in Nicole's hands, and whatever happens, happens.
I think Kevin would vote me out if he had to.
Yeah.
But you saved my bacon because you were like, I'm not going to vote him out. And so, but like, he's a player in that sense. But that all being said, I do think he was still loyal. When I saw our little 5 tribe, felt good with Tony, felt good with Kevin. Kevin's obviously like my number 1, or my number 2 at least. And then Nicole and I have made some really good bonds. And Jana like helped vote with us. And I'm happy to still work with Tony. I love Tony. I'm happy to still work with Jana. I'm happy to still work with you. Like, we're still all together.
Because Ryan and I were kind of like, I heard he said some things about me when we were in different tribes, and I was like, Ryan, what the hell? Like, I don't even know you. We definitely like aired out our our dirty laundry, but now I feel like me and Ryan could ride all the way, and it's gonna be game on.
I'm gonna do everything in the power for you, me and Javier, to be sitting there at the end.
Dude,
And we're gonna have a lot of pissed off jury members, but
I was so happy when he won. I was like, yes.
yeah, I
Because
think
he would have been gone.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of work to do when we get over there, and I can't promise you we're gonna all make it out alive, but we're gonna try our best.
The odds are definitely stacked against us. If I can even make it out of this alive, though, I'll be grateful. My pitch was keep me over Tony. I mean, there really wasn't much strategy or many like ways for me to shimmer out of this one like I seemingly have this entire game. Like, I've been the cat with 9 lives, but maybe every cat must meet its day, every dog must meet its day, all of the above.
So I literally am the swing vote, and I'm sitting and weighing both options, and I am like stuck in between Kevin or Tony.
Follow me down into the valley night, where all the flowers bloom.
All right, welcome to Tribal Council. Nicole, you have immunity this round.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what camp looked like for you. And specifically, we go from like a group of
13 or 12 or whatever down to now 10, and then with 5.
Yeah, it's scary. When you said that we were going into 2 groups of 5, I was like, oh shoot, I definitely want to win this one. I don't think I can. I'm definitely someone that's like, I did not think I would win that. Like, I'm not someone that's good at things. Like, when I got to the puzzle, I was like, I'm not smart enough for this puzzle. So like, so I'm getting emotional.
Well, congratulations, by the way, on you earned it. You
did earn it.
Yeah.
hustled for a long time to try to get those up. So
That was very tough. It feels really good. And then going into camp, it's really tough. Like, all of these players I've talked with, I've strategized with, I've worked with, and it's really in the point of the game of who's going to benefit you in your game and how are you going to benefit their game.
So Jana, do you feel like these original kind of tribal lines are done?
Yeah, I think the tribal lines are done. I think we more have maybe loyalty to particular players that we've been playing a few moves with versus an entire tribe.
So Nicole, did everyone approach you, I guess?
Yeah, everyone came up to me. I think right now the vote is pretty split. And I've been pretty upfront with the 2 people that are on the block, both Kevin and Tony. I'm like, I don't know where my vote's gonna go at this point.
So there's a 2-2 split with you in the middle?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think Tony and we're not planning to write each other's names down, I hope, and that's what we heard also with Ryan and Kevin. They're not really planning to write each other's names down, so unfortunately that puts Nicole in the position she's in.
And Tony, how does that make you feel, and kind of what was your pitch to Nicole to keep you?
We worked together early, and there were some votes early on where we had the chance to vote her out, and we kept her in. And just hopefully, even though there's been a lot of the game played since then, just the hope that, those early relationships might shift the tide a little bit, my direction.
Kevin, how about you? What was your pitch?
What was my pitch? Well, it's hard, right? Of course, what am I supposed to say bad about Tony? I mean, he's been nothing but nice to me. He's been nothing but honest to me. There's no way for me to pitch that there's a reason to vote him out. He's an overall good dude and just a good human being. The only real pitch that I could come up with is like, look, if you think that I'm a threat now, then I will continue to be a threat in these upcoming rounds, and that threat level will only increase exponentially. So use me as a shield. I can almost guarantee that with all these upcoming votes, my name will be put out before yours, and that will advance you at least 1 more round.
I just want to say I just appreciate all 5 of you. I appreciate how honest we were in our conversations. This is a hard game to play, and we were sitting there and I was tearing up. I just appreciated the honesty from everyone.
Yeah, me too.
It was very cordial despite the circumstance.
Did you guys expect it would be this hard to vote out people that you didn't know?
It was a really respectful moment. It was really hard because you make these really meaningful relationships with people, and I've been with Kevin since day 1, and these 2 have been with each other since day 1, and I gave Kevin my word I wasn't going to vote him out, and I really like working with Tony, and it was really hard to be like, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm going to write your name down. That was probably the hardest moment in the game because he is a really awesome person.
I basically went up to Tony and I was like, look, after talking to everyone, it's going to be me or you. Good game either way, you can't really do much about it. Sometimes stuff is just not in your hands.
It's a really tough decision.
All right, if that's all that is said, we will get to a vote. Jana, you're up.
As I said in tribal, I am voting for Kevin.
Great dude. This is nothing personal, and I'm really looking forward to, a friendship in the future.
Looks like I should have got you out sooner.
The moment of truth. Do I have any more lives? If not, good game.
Nicole, you're up.
usually like to play a loyal game, but hopefully this decision doesn't ruin my game.
I'll go tally the votes. Alright, so if anybody has a hidden immunity idol or advantage and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. I'll read the votes. First vote, Tony. Kevin, that's one vote Tony, one vote Kevin. Tony. Kevin, we're tied. 2 votes Tony, 2 votes Kevin, 1 vote left. The next person voted off of with to give the Ramsey roller coaster and the 4th member of our jury. Tony. Bring me a torch.
Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, good luck, you guys.
Okay. Snuffing good, Tony. Shut us open. Get out of here.
Yeah, you know it's hard losing, but I had a lot of fun. It was just a great experience. I always felt like I was kind of on the bottom with my tribe, so it was kind of fun to make things interesting at least for a few more rounds. Nicole, no hard feelings. Honestly, if you wouldn't have won, we probably would have voted you out, so I don't blame you whatsoever for what you did. The FSHD Society, which is a rare form of muscular dystrophy that my dad has. Their main mission is to raise money for research and treatment, and also reaching out to communities that are underserved. The amount of money we raised was really incredible, and to be number 2 out of everyone here who are also, you know, very into their charities really, I think, speaks volume to the support that we have for our family and the condition that my dad is going through, which is the whole reason why I'm here. And so I just want to thank everybody who supported me on this adventure of mine. Wish I could have made it a little farther for all of you, but thank you for that support.
Challenge went amazing. I think I needed more on my resume and I was able to pull out the win in the challenge. It was so exciting to win another $100 for my charity after winning the immunity challenge. The cause that I'm donating to will construct this community center that will be used by all sorts of Minnesotans, particularly the Latino population.
So once we got back to camp, we kind of did a speed dating. So we all broke off into pairs and talked. And the first person that I talked to was Lindsay. I also felt like I was like all of a sudden alone. Like I came back from the pool party and was just like I had nothing.
No, I believe that.
I wasn't gonna say your name until I heard your name, and it sounded like that was the way I was gonna go. I thought that my partnership with Lindsay was done as soon as I heard her say my name. I did not expect to work with her again. I was very skeptical and very like hurt by the whole thing. And then not knowing that she had an idol, it's like, who has she told? And like, why didn't she mention it to me? So when we got back to camp, her and I went off and I basically explained to her like why I said her name and that wasn't my plan. And I could tell that she was hurt by that and I was hurt by what she had done. And so we ended up making up and agreeing to keep working together.
Those rocks weren't so kind. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
I guess my pitch to you would be, it's a pretty big move taking one of those guys out. You're gonna have to start doing that sometime.
Yeah.
And right now would be an easy time for you to do it.
Yeah. You know, Javier is part of my alliance and stuff, but I knew if he got the necklace, it's 3, you know, Renegade, and one of the Excalibur has immunity, so I'm the guy who's kind of sitting out of the musical chairs.
I have a slightly more complicated pitch. It's similar to that one. I think your threat level in the game rose after that last tribal.
Right.
I think they know that.
Right. Yeah, I think it was a good move, and then we ended up in a tie, so I got to double down on those advantages, and so that looked really cool. So yeah, I'm just going in humble and hoping that, you know, and staying positive, hoping nobody's really trying to get against me and trying to keep Gray together.
We haven't necessarily decided a specific vote. I think all the idols are out of people's pockets right now, which I am okay with.
Yeah.
But
as far as we know.
Obviously we have an hour before tribal. Yeah. I want you to vote with us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, we have an hour, guys.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
5
cook
of
some
us.
hot dogs.
Right. Yeah.
You know, let's sit, get to know each other, talk.
Sure.
I think they're pretty dead set though on voting Renegade strong.
Lindsay. I said that's what I told them specifically. I was like, I won't vote for Tolu. I won't vote for Lindsay. And then I ended up writing her name because it all blew up.
Right.
But if I hadn't heard her say my name first, I never would have done that. The first person that I talked to was Lindsay, and we hugged and made up, and then talked to Tolu, and she was good with all of it. And so the plan right now, as I know it, is for the 3 of us to work together to vote out Maddie. I appreciate your tie vote so much.
Yeah.
I forgot that you had that. I knew it. And then I think I forgot. I thought that only lasted for like 1 tribal.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize it was the first tribal that was a tie. So
that's what I told you.
Then when that happened, I was like, oh yeah. Tolu's threat level has definitely increased since that. I just had a conversation with her, and I am going to play hard for my charity, and I will go head to head with her if I need to, but she is somebody that I would love to have at the end with me because she's a wonderful person, and if that's the end game that we get and I get to go up against her, I'll make my pitch and the jury can decide.
Because I voted for Marty. I didn't vote for you. Not that that's huge.
Sure, yeah.
And also I kept Lindsay safe.
I pitched each twosome, and I pitched Lindsay and Matt to bring me instead of Tolu. And part of that was she is a strong person who could win it all.
You guys might want to do something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always willing to listen, and I appreciate you, and it's been fun working, like, being around you.
Yes, and
everybody loves you, so.
Oh, thanks.
We had a good conversation with Javier, who is trying to figure out what his end game is going to look like and who he might want to work with for the next several votes, rather than just kind of getting to the next step. And so we made a pitch to him to work with us and potentially Ryan, potentially Nicole, some different pieces that's in the other tribe based on how all that turns out.
But those guys are wild cards.
Yeah.
I know you all have seen a little bit of Kevin's gameplay, sprinting through the woods, string in the pocket. And similarly, like Ryan, he flip-flops and he's very stubborn.
This is what I call scavenging. The whole shake. That's gonna hurt my stomach later because I'm lactose intolerant.
You single-handedly voted him out, now you're drinking his shake.
Sorry, Marty. Thank you for your shake. I also love you, but I'm so loyal to Matt. We're gonna try to get Maddie out. He's a strong player. He's well liked. He would make it far in any other circumstance. He just got unlucky in this circumstance.
So if I pitch not doing Maddie again, I do want to pitch it, but then. Exactly. And I think you would just probably tell the person that I pitched too. I tried my best. I tried my darndest to sway people away from voting Maddie, because I think he's a great person to work with, and he's someone I personally wanted to work with. Maddie and I have demonstrated our loyalty to each other on a couple of different occasions, so if I could have kept working with him, I would, but I'm seeing that as less and less possible now.
Duluth didn't have any votes on her last. She hasn't had any votes on it.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm glad that Tolu had the big tribal that she did, because I think she was off people's radar and she shouldn't have been. So now she's not off people's radar. Mm-hmm. And now I'm trying to think of who the most off the radar player is, and I think everyone's kind of on it. But I think Maddie's the most off the radar player, which is why I want to keep it. Right? That's my perspective on that.
Sorry, Maddie. If you literally weren't up next to my twos, like Tolu and Matt, it wouldn't have to be like this. But I literally cannot turn my back on both Tolu and Matt. Just cannot happen. I am really happy to be here on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club at the Northland. It's a great spot that kids can go to after school and get a meal, have a safe place to do homework. And I also got to dress up sometimes as Millie the Moose for different Christmas events. They love that. The costume smelled, but I did love the event.
I think I was gonna go.
Yeah.
If I didn't idle search a bunch, and then they had to change their plans. So let's just idle search and then force them to reconsider.
It's really a Hail Mary, but you know, Hail Marys happen. I think my family, which is my wife Michelle and my son Jacob and my son Danny, I think they would say, you should be so proud of yourself, keep your chin up, don't give up, you never know.
He was a dead man walking to his fate.
All right. Well, first and foremost, Javier, congratulations for winning immunity. How did it feel to win that?
I mean, there's been a lot of highs and lows in Ramsey Rollercoaster so far. A lot of kind of dips in the beginning for Excalibur, but then to get this individual immunity, it was elating. It was great.
Lindsay, let's talk about a little bit about last tribal. I can confidently say I think in 8 years that was the most chaotic.
It was a chaotic round. I did not anticipate it to be as chaotic as it was. I had a feeling there would be votes coming my way, so I had my idol and I knew that I was going to play it.
And then the title came up, so it was like the roller coaster was broken and it needed a break because it was too much going on. But then once I realized that Tolu had that and she'd be casting that vote, I felt good about that. So
into a group of 5, did you guys split off right away to talk about this vote?
Well, so Javier has immunity, and there's me and 3 Renegade kind of strong. So what I've come up with is I think it'd be smart for Tolo and Lindsay to vote for Matt. So that's where I'm going to throw my vote. It's a Hail Mary a little bit. For their end game, I think it might be better for them to take me.
Why is that?
I think I could get some of the other tribe to be numbers for them, where I don't think they're going to get the numbers if they go forward.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I'm a loyal person, so I'm loyal to Gray. I'm always going to be loyal to Gray. And then I have my loyalties within that, you know what I'm saying? There's loyalties within that. Some people are not so loyal. We already know that.
So Javier, how does that feel when you hear someone say, I'm never going to vote this few group of people out?
Hey, loyalty is important in this game. I know loyalty has done a lot for this trio in Gray, but loyalty has also done a lot for me and brought me to this tribal council. It's a key part of the game. You can't play an 100% disloyal game. You need to bring people in continually. It doesn't have to be every time, but loyalty is a key factor.
And Lindsay, tell me a little bit about the pros and cons of loyalty at this stage of the game.
Pro, you have people you've been working with for a while who you trust. Con, sometimes you get in sticky situations where you have to vote for them, and that's upsetting.
And Maddie, you're just kind of hoping for a sticky situation?
Yeah, you know, it's we're at about the time in the game. I think you have to start doing that. We'll see. I don't know. And besides that, I love all these guys, and they're just great people. And we're just trying to hang on to the roller coaster.
right, it's time to vote. Javier, you're up.
You came for me early. It feels good to finally cast this vote again.
I have to play my game, not your game.
This is for you, Matt. You have a great name.
I'll tally the votes. All right, I'll read the votes. Maddie. Matt. That's 1 vote Maddie, 1 vote Matt. Maddie. That's 2 votes Maddie, 1 vote Matt. The next person voted off of Live Together, the Ramsey Rollercoaster, and the 5th member of our jury, Maddie. You're gonna get a torch. All right, Maddie, you try this book. All right, time for you to go. Wow, for once I feel like the tribal is like a Ferris wheel. Grab your stuff, head back to camp.
Well, this is the end of the road here at Live to Give, and it's funny, I just started crying. I did 2 or 3 days without any crying, and that was pretty good for me. I just had a great time. It was such a fun event here and a fun game. What a great name, Live to Give. It reminded me to step up my charity games, and my charity was for my son Danny and his rare condition Cohen syndrome, and we had so much fun. We had a golf tournament, the Danny Boy Open, and next year it'll be the DBO2, the Danny Boy Open 2, and we'll continue that kind of legacy and raise money for a lot of great things. I wanted to come here and play hard and do the best I can, and I didn't want to give up. And I'm really proud of how I played. You know, being 62, I wondered how I would get along with some of the younger participants playing, and I found it was just wonderful. Thanks, Brandon, Live to Give, and who knows, maybe I'll play it again someday. Thanks.